Happy 3-year anniversary episode. It's a special one. So we brought a special guest.
Very special one. We have a special guest. What did you? We should have gotten each other presents. I didn't get you anything. Spoiler alert.
Oh, I didn't get you anything.
Okay, good. I feel less awkward. But let's introduce our guest because she's here. She's a Cavalry favorite, and not just because she's always funny, and at least a few times she's been on the show, but she's like definitely a listener, which gives you like so much extra credit. So
I'm like fanning out in front of her because she's one of our fans.
Like I knew that the podcast was going to start with, and we're back.
See, she at least listens to the first 8 seconds of every episode.
Of any episode.
Yeah. Christina Walkinshaw.
Yay!
Thanks for having me, you guys. This is a late night podcast. It's 11 o'clock my time, so I was like terrified. I was gonna be like drunk because it's a Sunday, and we like brunching and stuff here. But I'm shockingly I'm okay, and I couldn't really like deny you. You're like, oh, I have to put my kid to bed. Is it okay if we start later? I couldn't be like, well, I have to like day drink. Is it okay if we start earlier?
I can play that card to you a little better than I can play it to Johnny. Because like sometimes I'll play it to Johnny like, oh yeah, I just want to do bedtime for my daughter. And then you like forget like Johnny has 3 kids and he's juggling it all way more efficiently than I'm like freaking out about my one kid. But with you're childless. So I can, I remember that though, when I was a comic without a kid and you'd work with comics with kids, I was so deferential. I was like, oh, you got a kid, so whatever you want to, anytime you want to meet, wherever it fits in your schedule, that's fine with me.
Oh, totally. I feel so bad. I almost feel guilty about how much fun and free time I have. No offense, you guys.
No, yeah. Before I had kids and I'd work with comics with kids, I'd be like, oh, party's over for that guy.
Welcome to Hackville.
But I knew it was a celebratory podcast too, so I really wanted to be on it. Now I'm doing candlelight podcast.
Oh,
candle for the show. I feel like it's like vigil podcast now.
It looks like our podcast died.
R.I.P. Cavalry.
Yeah. You're gonna lay flowers out by the Taco Bell.
Just me. And I know how much you guys like Taco Bell. Oh, you're more into Wendy's. That's how you can tell.
Yeah, I'm more of a Wendy's. If you put a cross and flowers in front of the Taco Bell and Wendy's drive-thrus, you'll know something happened to the Cavalry.
Oh no.
Hey, speaking of Taco Bell, that brings me to my first discussion point, if I may.
I'm not surprised.
Consistency is why we're still here.
Well, I did text you guys a teaser. This was what was it, yesterday, right?
Oh God, yes.
Again, see, now I don't think I don't blame Taco Bell because it was too quick after Taco Bell. But anyways, I was driving to
I don't think you're giving Taco Bell enough credit. Too quick after Taco. Yeah, I don't know. It's like people get COVID. They're like, yeah, this like terminally ill guy sneezed in my face, but then I started getting the sore throat like right after that. So it couldn't have been COVID-y McCovidson. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, so I'm driving to my this awful gig in Illinois. I got Taco Bell as soon as I wasn't even out of my neighborhood, and I got Taco Bell.
You actually drove the other direction.
You went to a different location.
Yeah, I drove by my house on my way after the Taco Bell. So, and then but I'm driving to the gig, and you know how when you fart, it's like I see Christina perking up.
I raised my hand like
she was nodding off until she heard that.
Till I heard one of my trigger words.
It's like a air bubble coming out of your butt, and when it pops,
I know what they are.
Fart. That's the fart. Yeah, we all know. Here's the thing.
You think we have to fill for time, Johnny?
I'm trying to describe. Let's just set up as I describe. I thought it was a fart, but the bubble never popped. You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh no. And then I kind of shifted and I was like, oh, sure enough. And I had to pull over to a rest area and
And you had to empty out your underwear?
do some maintenance. Well, see, that was the thing. I called my brother and he was like, oh, so are you not wearing your underwear now? I was wearing my underwear. It had not made it out. It was just like it was just like grease. It was just like I greased up the area. Okay, but it didn't get to the underpants.
You know what? I'm making this face because it's what you're saying sounds so stupid, but I actually know what I like. Definitely have had that experience where you're like, I for sure shit my pants, and then you look and you're like, it's like Jesus feeding the 5,000 or something. Like, how is there not shit in my underwear? It's a miracle. And so I actually do know what you're talking about. It's something about like your hip bones. Like there's a way to sit where there's like a safety canal that's like can stop it from, you know what I mean? If
Yeah,
you
I don't know.
clench quick enough, maybe.
Well, I think if you want to shit your pants, I mean, if you're gonna shit your pants, you'll never want to shit your pants. But if you're gonna, I feel like wouldn't you rather be standing up than sitting down?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, yes. Oh, sorry, Johnny.
No, you go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, yeah, I want to hear your answer.
You're at the top of your field on this. Why don't you take this one?
No, I got to hear your response. I said all
Well,
I have is yes.
I subscribe to the theory. Yes, if you're standing up, you probably could like avoid disaster more if you know it's like you're fully going to shit your pants. But if you're sitting down, I feel like there's like I can stop myself from shitting my pants easier. Does that make sense?
That's a good point.
There's something about sitting down where I don't know if it's like because you're contracted or something, but like,
yeah,
I feel like more in control.
Yeah, you can push it. It's gonna.
And there's forces.
You got a bit of a cork.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Are we talking about
pressure.
shitting your pants or are we talking about sharting? Because if you shart, I'd rather be standing. But I'm gonna like shit my pants. Of course, I'd rather be sitting. Otherwise, it's gonna fall out your pant leg.
No. Okay, so here's where I had to intervene, and I can't even believe that I'm such an open person that I'm like, have I already told my shitting my pants story on your podcast?
I mean, if not on our podcast, where would you have?
We've told many stories multiple times.
Cornered the market, I feel like.
I shit my pants. Well, I think, first of all, I think that every New Yorker has shit their pants. I don't think there's anybody who lives here who hasn't done it. It seems to be like we all got our story. Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, we all have one. But yeah, so anyways, when I did it, it was like during COVID, like all the bathrooms were closed. I was like walking about 1.5 miles home that night, and I was with my friend, but I was wearing a dress, and I was wearing an A-line dress and a thong, and like I did my best. This is when I really started to take up running, and I had done like a 12K run that day, and there's such thing as like runner trots or whatever. So maybe that's why my body was looser down there. I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know.
What?
Runner trots? Have you ever heard of these?
No.
They're real. I don't know, but apparently it is easy to shit your pants when you're running too much.
Huh. Runner, but what is the word you say? Trots?
Trots. Runner trots, right? Is that what it's called?
Trots?
It's like something a horse would do, like shit while they trot along.
Trotting. Yeah, it sounds okay. Go ahead.
But anyways, I was like so close to home. So when I remember telling Jen the story on the podcast on Jill and Off or whatever, and then she was like, accidents always happen close to home. But I was like half a block from home. I shit my pants, but I was in a thong and an A-line dress where it was like.
What does A-line mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like it's like, but it's kind of tight up here, and then it kind of like a triangle, like kind of shaped like down,
but
like
see, to
from
me,
your waist
is you're like,
it gets wider.
Were you were with company where you were like, didn't want to just run into an alley and?
It honestly, I thought I was holding it okay. Like I was like, I knew I had to go.
Oh, interesting.
I thought I had it, and then I didn't have it, and then it just like came out of me. I was like, oh my god! And of course, I'd start laughing because I'm like, oh my god. And she's like, what's going on? And I was like, I just shit my pants. And then she looks at the sidewalk. She's like, clearly shit all over the sidewalk.
Oh my god.
She goes, honestly, you almost got away with it. Like, so that's like the perk of pooping your
like
pants in a dress and
you
like
weren't you
Like,
weren't
that's the
stealing
goal.
the Hope Diamond. It's New York City. Yeah, you could get away with shitting on the sidewalk in New York City. I think your odds of pulling off that caper is pretty good.
Yeah. Did your shit happen to land on another piece of shit that was already there?
No, but I remember walking
God.
by it for like the next 4 days. It just didn't wash away.
Oh God. Yeah, because that's the worst thing is like when you do something horrible, disgusting like that, the embarrassment is more than the any of the other inconveniences, right? The shame is the worst part. So you won't even help. Like if you shit on the floor of a place, like if it's anything else, like if you spill your SpaghettiOs on at a party somewhere, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me you know, I'm always eating SpaghettiOs at big
Let me
families.
smell your shit, Antigos.
But you're like, holy God, I'm sorry. Let me clean that up. Let me help. Give me some paper towels and let me get to work. But if you do something horrible, disgusting like that, you just run away and you leave it. So not only did you do it, you're not helping at all. Like you went by it 4 days later and you're like, I'm still not gonna get a hose out or volunteer, you know.
It was part of her tour when she had visitors.
She did one of those Airbnb experiences.
It's the New York
Get
experience.
the real
right
New
there.
York COVID.
It's like
New York's the worst with bathrooms too, because like even if the restaurant has a bathroom, I just was in New York and I visited my brother. They took me to some diner, and it's like, I get it. They were like, oh, it's like authentic New York. It's like a real New York. It's not like these $35 brunch spots, you know. It's like real New York. But then it's just like, yeah, it's like shitty eggs. I can get this anywhere. And then like it's a dump, and then you're like, can I use the bathroom? And like, yeah, just here's the key. Go down to the basement. It's about a mile walk in this hallway.
I know.
Some weird crypt you're gonna pass. You know, there are gonna be all these other businesses and weird. There's just like these connected tunnels and then yeah, one of those doors. Just keep trying, and that's the bathroom. So.
If you try to go to a coffee shop, there's like a code for the door, so you might shit your pants while you're
Yeah,
trying to
if you
go
forget the
door.
code, yeah, you're like,
But there's a key.
241-67943. Okay, got it. You're like, there's no way I'm not gonna have to go back.
But at least I was with somebody who'd already shit her pants, so she was more like, "That's the first time you've ever shit your pants."
Oh well, that's a great friend.
She's like
Yeah.
hazing you. Oh, who's the new girl?
You got some catching up to do, bitch.
She's just standing behind you watching, like, oh, first time, huh?
I feel like I shit twice as much though, because I was wearing a thong, so it kind of like shot out the two sides. You know what I mean? So I meant like
It's like a hose splitter.
yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Oh man. So
It's
yeah.
hard to think about thongs the same way. Really takes some of the mystery out of a thong.
That's true. I know. It goes back to the old term turd cutter.
Yeah.
Oh, the old term. Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
The old phrase we're all familiar with. Well, just since we're in this area anyway, I was just on a cruise ship, of course, and I know, Christina, you're doing ships still, and
Oh yeah.
this guy, I'm on this brand new ship, the Prima.
Prima. I've been on the Prima.
Yeah, we were talking about it. So
Yeah.
they it's very aspirational. They're trying to be like, they want it to be classy, and they want to attract. I feel like they want to bring in but they just don't quite have the clientele to match the aspirations, if that makes sense. Like, it's just not like, there's all this fine art and all this stuff, but it's still, Minions t-shirts and
Is that a new Norwegian ship?
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sitting on this very nice area, Bermuda. It's beautiful. The sun's out, Everybody's relaxing. And some guy, this New Jersey guy, leans over, he's like, hey, see over there? And there's a dude, like one of the workers in full hazmat, like covered head, like from the original COVID days, goggles, gloves taped into his suit, like the biohazard marks are on a plastic bag.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's cleaning the shit out of this one, like literally the shit, because someone had shit in a brown paper bag and dropped it on the floor on the deck.
Oh my God.
And I spent, I'm not kidding you, like 3 hours sitting there just pontificating with anyone who would walk by. How did that come to be? Like, what was it, a prank? Or was it like an emergency like you're talking about? But then why the bag? Like, I could not really figure, I never got to like a satisfactory conclusion. So it was sorry. It was, they served these breakfast sandwiches in brown bags in the morning in that area. And so it was one of those bags. And other than that, I have no details. And then I also asked, was like, he was volunteering. It was like, and it was not solid. He kept saying that. And it was not solid.
And he put it in a brown paper bag? How did it know?
Well, I don't know it was a he, but yeah, somebody.
Shame on you.
I know. You of all people should not be gender discriminating against shitting in a brown bag. But don't you think it's like a kid maybe, or I like, but if it's an emergency, it doesn't even make sense to do the bag and then leave it there. That's what I mean about the shame thing. Like it's so embarrassing. Just leave it and get the hell out of there and hope nobody tries to find you.
I mean, Jen Murphy, my podcast partner, she has told me a story last week. She had a guy like staying in her apartment, and then he wanted her to take a shower with her. And so he invited her. He's at her apartment, so he's in the shower. She needs to shit, so she can't do it in her bathroom because he's in the shower. Right. So she's like, oh, I'm just going to run downstairs and throw some more towels in the laundry. And then she tries to go to her, like, whatever, the playroom or whatever those nice apartment buildings have where you can have little parties or whatever. I don't know. I don't live in that kind of place. But so she goes in there. She's like, oh, she's the bathroom there. Take a dump. And then, it's LA. So people are like shooting their latest TikTok or whatever. So she's like, fuck, there's a bunch of people here. I can't shit here. She goes back to her apartment and shits in her fucking garbage can in her kitchen.
What?
I know. Why would you do that? Just go. Tell the guy you got to shit. Go in front of the girls that are shooting the TikTok video. I don't think they're going to
wait a minute. The girls are shooting a TikTok video in the bathroom?
They're doing it in like the amenities room or something in her building.
Right. But then there's a bathroom in the amenities room.
Yeah, so that's where she wanted
But there's a door to the bathroom, right?
I know.
So she would rather shit in a trash can than go in a...
She's got poop issues.
Clearly.
Wow.
But then also, like, okay, so you don't want to go in front of the boyfriend or the guy in the bathroom, but you've gone in the... So she just immediately took that trash out, or she was like, oh, it's not quite full yet. I'll give it a...
She wrapped it up right away.
Oh, God.
I just started this bag. I don't want to waste one.
The only way that would be better is if he had walked out of the bathroom while she was doing it.
Can you imagine? Oh, my God.
That would have been the best.
See, that's like one of those Ben Stiller movies or something. And I literally can't stand that stuff. Like, I know it's funny and I know it's supposed to be, that's the whole point, is like the embarrassment of it.
Yeah.
I get so much secondhand embarrassment. Like, I can't even enjoy it. Like that Meet the Parents stuff, all that. I can't stand it.
I love it.
I don't know why she did that. I would just be like, hey, yeah, I gotta. I need Johnny Beaner for like 2 days. By the time on day 3, I was like, listen, man, I already clogged my toilet.
When you were describing the hazmat suit guys, I was like, hey, they've been in my place. they were.
I need a couple of those guys.
And if you're gonna shit anywhere, the cruise ship's perfect because like those toilet flushing, like the way those toilets flush is so powerful. Like it flushes before the whole turds even hit the bowl. Like, do you know what I mean? You know, the automated flushers, and somebody say flush before you're done. It's like, and it sucks it down.
Yeah,
like, so
and
fast.
the toilet paper is so thin. I think they intentionally like have the thinnest toilet paper in the world. Like you can't put enough toilet paper in a toilet there to clog it. It's like made to not clog. So I do think they're uncloggable. As long as you don't throw anything like, you know.
Although, here's the problem I had on the Prima. So, you know how they, like, were you on for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Did they make you change rooms in between your weeks?
Yeah.
So the same thing happened, right? So when I was going through immigration between week 1 and week 2, whatever, I was hanging out and wherever we were waiting at the little cavern club or whatever, I was talking to this lady who was in a wheelchair, and she was just like, she's like, the ship isn't very like functioning. Like I find it weird that I'm in the like accessible room, and yet my room is the furthest room. Like I'm the furthest away from the elevator. My room is at the very end of the hallway. So I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. You would think that you would put your room like closer to the elevator. So then literally that day, I must have checked into her room because I got that room. I got the accessible room. All right. And here's where I fucked up. I went for a nap, and then I get up and whatever, I'm naked because I'm gonna get in the bathing suit because Teresa Digatano, my good friend, she came on the ship as a guest. So we're gonna go to the pool. I'm like, great. So I whatever, it's a different room. So I think I am turning on my bathroom light, but I accidentally opened up my front door because everything has a button. So then I'm like buck naked, and then my door is open, and then I'm trying to close the automated door, but it won't shut. Have you ever tried to like force?
Yeah, they're powerful. Yeah.
Shut? It's like impossible. It won't shut. You have to wait. You just have to wait, and it'll eventually shut by itself, but you can't make it shut. So if anybody walked in my room, it was like 4 p.m. They were seeing this like girl in a handicap room, naked, trying to like close the door, like not be able to shut it.
Did you dive for cover? I feel like I just would have dove for like the bathroom or the side. What did you do?
No, I kept on trying to close the door, and then you're right. Then I jumped in the bathroom and I just hid, and then I just like peeked around the door to see if it was shut. I was like,
but you're not. You're. It's good. Great Zoom humor. Our listeners will love.
I'll see myself out.
You. Oh, see, that's why we brought you back.
I'm back.
I was just talking about that with Dean Edwards, a good guy. Is the guy I was working with last week, and he didn't do any of those Zoom shows, you know. But it is funny to think of like. We're still doing the podcast on Zoom for obvious reasons, but have you done? What was the last time you did a Zoom show? Either of you?
Oh,
I did a Jason Love one. Like
when?
A month ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Was it like riding a bike? I feel like I would have to kind of get back into the. Like it's been a long time for me.
Yeah, but I mean they're easy. We've all done so many of them.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you can just, you know what you're. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. It's very easy.
Like riding a bike. Okay.
I don't think I've done one since 2021, maybe.
Yeah. They weren't that bad. I think back on them now, kind of nostalgic for them. I kind of miss them. Especially after traveling like today. Like I was like, you know what? Yeah. Could they zoom me into these ships? That would be pretty good.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Pretty lazy. Well, man, what an open.
What an open. Should we you need some backing up?
Did you bring a topic?
I do. It's funny. Well, I have three things I need backup on. One, I'm scared that you guys might have already talked about on the podcast, but it's been on my mind for a while.
Why would you
I almost wrote you guys another 5-star review because I knew you would get back to me and talk about my topic.
Why would you ever let having already talked about it on the show stop you?
I know. But then I have another one that I feel like this we need no segue because it basically we've already discussed what I'm going to bring up. Okay. So first of all, I will say, so I just started dating somebody. Okay. And you know me, I usually don't have like children and boyfriends and stuff, but I got one of those boyfriend thingies, very new for me. He's like, well, I just got out of like an 18-year marriage and I have 2 kids. And he's like, so what about you? Have you been married? What's your last relationship like? And I'm like, oh, like I didn't really have a leading man. It was more of an ensemble. But like it's really weird to try to explain your life as like a happily single person for like 6 years. I'm like, I can't explain it, but I really like being with no one.
It's like a work
once in a while.
A work history resume, the big gaps, and you're trying to apply for a job, and like, well, what did you do from 2009 to 2018? Oh,
odd jobs,
and a lot of things.
That's brilliant, and that is exactly how I feel. Like I feel like I have a big gap of being single where I don't know what to tell him. I'm like, I
had that when I met my wife. I had that. I had no real significant relationship before my wife, and I was old enough to where it was like a thing, and I think it hit her for a second. She's like, really? Like just a little bit of a red flag, like, huh, okay. So I'm like your first, all right.
I'm sure I'm a huge red flag, but like he came over, he saw my apartment for the first time yesterday. And I've had like this clogged sink for like, I don't know, 8 months. And I'm like, oh yeah, my sink's really clogged. Like it takes so long for the water. Like usually there's always water in my sink. If I've just done my dishes, it takes like a day to go down. Like it looks like if you walked into my apartment right now, you'd be like, what is she like baptizing children on the side? Like, why does she have this big sink of water? But anyways, this morning, he's like, oh, do you have a plunger? I was like, yeah. Oh yeah. Why did I think of that?
What a man.
Yeah.
Men are so handy. So
sounds
the thing.
Sounds like Tim the Toolman Taylor, you got.
Clears. Okay, here's the thing. I'm a liquid plumber girl. I don't want to touch anything. I'll liquid plumber. Yeah. I'll put hot water. The liquid plumb game is my game. I never even thought about the plunger, and I have one. He used the plunger today, and literally, and then we use liquid plumber after plunging. Now the thing's fucking it's amazing. Anyways.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, so here the thing is, so what I need backup on is, so he's also European, and he's from Amsterdam, and actually he's also a chef. He's an executive chef at a restaurant downtown in New York. It's great, yeah, and and he's also from Holland, which is weird. I can't believe I haven't made any Dutch oven jokes yet. But here's where I need
plenty
backup.
of time.
I know I got lots of time. I know. I never know when to. Johnny, how long do you have to wait before you start pooping and farting in front of a partner?
Well, do the Dutch know about? Is that like an American phrase, or the Dutch aware of the Dutch oven?
I don't know. I have to ask. They don't know.
Definitely, you have to. I mean,
they invented it, right?
I found out Dutch ovens are real things long after I knew what the slang was.
Doesn't it trip you
My
up?
mother-in-law said it, and I was like pissing my pants. I was like, what?
You're telling me that big red bowl on the stove is a Dutch oven?
Yeah. She said it. Did I even hear that? She just said it. Oh, it's so stupid.
Oh my god. So anyways, here's what I need backup. He has a nice apartment in Soho, 2-bedroom, which is that's pretty nice. It's nice. Also, it's like a bathroom with one of those weird kind of like glass windows, like right here, but like you can't see through it or anything. I forget what that kind of glass is called.
Like frosted or something.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. But here's the thing: he keeps the bathroom door shut, even if nobody's in there. I am against this. I think that if the bathroom is free, the bathroom door should be open.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he keeps it closed even if he's not in the bathroom. So what do we think? So, like, I understand. Like, I'm trying to figure out why he's doing it. Maybe he's doing it because he's just maybe like, done something powerful in there. He's trying to block the smell from entering the apartment. But then, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like the bathroom door being closed if it's not in use. I think if it's open, it's open. And then 100%. If it's closed, it's not.
But why do you want it open? Like, I'm trying to
know that to know that I could go to so I don't have to, like, because if you see a closed bathroom door, it takes a lot of confidence to just walk right up. If it's not your house, and just walk in, even if you logically know we're the only two people in here and no one's still, if the door's closed, it's a little bit like, I feel like I would still like kind of knock, open, give it a second, then, you know what I mean? So just leave the door open. If nothing stinky's in there and it's not disgusting, why wouldn't you leave the door? That's odd. Like if you went to a party or something and the door was just shut to the bathroom,
you wouldn't go in the bathroom.
No one's allowed to use the bathroom or something.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's at a party. But I'm just being the devil's advocate. I wonder if it's like a drawer thing. You don't just leave a drawer open. It's like you shut it because it's a door.
That's true. But guess what happened?
You walked in on him taking a big greasy shit.
Sure did.
You did?
See?
Because
it's like a bull.
I'm so used to the door being closed that it was closed, and I really had to go, and I like flew out of bed and I ran into the bathroom to go, and then he was already in there, and I was like, but the door is always closed, so I didn't even think
it's like a boy cries wolf situation. That's why you leave the door open. That's
you win. I mean, you just settled the argument. You're just like, well, this is why this happened.
And you know what? You set that up great because you let Johnny come in with his stupid counterpoint, and then you came over the top with a sledgehammer. You could have just started with that, and then he would have been, oh yeah, of course. But you let him expose himself.
Hey, look, I keep my bathroom door open. I was just trying to get in the mind of
everybody
this
does.
European weirdo.
Yeah,
I don't even shut my door when I'm in there. I leave it open when I'm peeing.
We've talked about this.
But I live alone.
I think the topic that we have discussed before, which is like still I'm like 50-50 on, I think, is if you do something horrible in the bathroom.
Yeah, do
you
you
shut the
after?
Door?
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, but then you're really prolonging.
You're just incubating.
Yeah. And if you open it, it's kind of gross because you're like, oh, now I'm exposed. But then it's going to go away so much faster.
That's true.
So that's the one I really can't come to a firm. This whole podcast.
It's a runny one. I get it. It doesn't have.
I know. I was like, I said it. I said it.
Episode.
I said firm, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's a shit thing too. And then I was like, I'm just too lazy to even go. Well, I'm for sure backing you up. Oh my god.
So the bathroom door should be open if it's free.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you've done inside. Light a match. Let it go.
The only time you close doors is when you're not ever supposed we have a second bedroom, and a lot of times that's the disaster. I mean, that's where if we're having people over, just throw everything into that room, and that's going to be a disaster, but the other rooms will be presentable.
Oh yeah. I'll back on that.
Yeah, but then that door's shut, and so there's no lunatic who's gonna just be wandering around the house going, what's in here? You know what I mean? Like, that's the implication anyway.
Yeah. No, totally.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a slam dunk. Yeah. Okay, what else do you need backup on? What's the other topic?
Two things. Oh, also, I wanted to back you up on an episode from like months ago, but I'll stand by your Outback Steakhouse thing. I think I already wrote you about this.
Yes, we chatted on Instagram.
The greatest. Outback has a location in the Orlando airport, and you could spend like $18 on like a shitty order of wings at Bahama Breeze, like on the other side of the terminal. Or you can go to Outback, you still get a sirloin steak with a side of nice garden vegetables. We're talking like steamed broccoli, carrots. Sorry, Johnny, I know you don't like vegetables, but like it's $18.99.
I just don't know what they are.
I know. You just have to cut the steak with a plastic knife because you're not allowed real knives after security. So they're like, it's true. So it's like a plastic knife. Yeah.
Do they at least have the ones that I know, the plastic knives, but they like make them look like metal, like they're shiny. They're not like the white plastic.
No, that's exactly what they have. But they also offer to cut it up for you. They're like, we'll cut it up for you. And also Daddy Walkinshaw, my dad loves Outback too. He likes there's a good lunch special there that he likes.
It's the greatest.
How much are hot dogs at the Outback?
It's funny, every time I'm on the ship and I see the hot dogs, I'm like, oh, the beaner special.
The old beer special.
The old beaner special. The old beaner wiener. All right, I have two other things I feel bad because now I've like started dirty and now I'm going to do my clean things I need to back up on. And everybody knows you can't do dirty and go back to clean. It's very hard.
We'll do it. Watch this.
And again, these are all travel.
We'll cut all this up in editing.
Yeah, just put these in front of the other thing. All right. I know we all travel a lot for work, so this really drives me nuts. I don't think that people should be able to put, like, when you're, when you're boarding your flight, I don't think people should be able to put certain like dumb things in the overhead compartment. I think overhead compartment should just be for luggage. I'm a carry-on and never check a bag. I don't like it when I have to check my bag at the gate because somebody's M&M bag had to go up top. Like they couldn't put it under the seat in front of them. Like, and then even if you put something in the seat in front of you, once the flight takes off, just pull it forward. You can still stretch your feet out. Like, I don't think that bullshit should go up there. I think that should be reserved for suitcases.
Well, they always say that. They're like, don't put your coats up there. Don't put your small shit. And everyone's like, fucking whatever. What are you
Nobody's listening. You're always saying it and nobody's listening.
We're listening.
Like, up there, fanny packs. Oh, really? Your fucking fanny pack has to go up there? Really?
Okay. I'll fess up here because I'm listening and I hear them make that announcement. Yeah. But I'm also usually like, I'm smart with I always keep my status stuff straight, so I can usually get on the plane before.
I know where this is going.
But I'll have the backpack and a small roller bag, right?
Yeah.
But the backpack's pretty big compared to like it's not, but it's all like in my mind it's like one piece of a carry-on luggage. So I put them both up there.
Get a load of this asshole.
But I don't like it at my feet. If I have it at my feet, then I'm like, I
don't want it at my feet, though.
Oh, Johnny, shut up. Because if you're tall, you can't stretch I'm 6'1". I'm not as tall as you, but if I can't like stretch my feet out, it's gonna be a miserable flight. So I put it up top. And it's never the difference between someone not getting their roller bag up there or not. I really don't believe that.
I hate that when I have to check, when you're like boarding group 82, that's when they have to check your bag.
Yeah. But I mean, what is this? You fly all the time, Christina. Why are you so shitty with why are you boarding last?
No, I am good. No, I am good with like American. I have good status with them, but sometimes the Carnival, I'm not in charge of what
they put you on United.
So sometimes you're like Southwest or whatever, and then it's out of my control now. But also even if you had to put your thing in front of the seat in front of you to start, like when the flight takes off, afterwards you could pull it forward and you could use that bag as like an ottoman and you could like stretch your legs right out and the thing will just go underneath your knees.
That's what I do with my backpack is I just shift it. I'll go.
That's what I do too, because I put my backpack under, but then I pull it and I do stretch my feet out.
Why not just put it up there?
Unless dick! I'm out of here.
Is it just like a bat? It's
let the losers worry about it.
In there during the whole.
No. Okay, that's a good point. I guess you could use it as an ottoman. I mean, but like I think you're talking still as a short person because you're saying use it as an ottoman, but my feet wouldn't fit. Like I can't. The chair in front of me would stop my feet from stretching out. The only way my legs can stretch out is underneath the seat. So I need all that space to actually stretch my legs out, if that makes sense.
What are you, LeBron James? Like, what's happening?
No, but I mean, I'm, Johnny, come on. Where are you at? You back me up on this.
Well, I pack very light, and I don't like to put anything up there that I might need during the flight at all, because I don't want to have to unbuckle and get up. I want to be able to not get up during the entire flight. So I have it under me, and I'll just shift it in front of my feet, back of my feet, depending if I need to stretch my legs or not.
But
that also drives me nuts. Is when somebody puts something in the overhead compartment that they need mid-flight, and then they have to get up, get it out. And this is how I once got I don't know if I've ever told you guys a story, but when I was flying from LA to Iceland, some guy went to get something out of the overhead compartment. And as we know, things may have shifted during flight. Be careful. And this guy dropped his fucking laptop on my head. And then,
God,
like 3 hours into a 9-hour flight, I am like bleeding everywhere. And I was sleeping because I was like this. I had like a whole row to myself. He drops it on my head. And so then I'm like bleeding, like my head. I was like, I went to the bathroom. I was like, am I dying? And I had to go. When we landed in Iceland, I had to get stitches in my head. You know,
did you get anything out of this guy or the airline, or like an apology or a free flight or something?
Here's the thing. So it was Wow Air. When he landed, he knew he fucked up, and he was ex-military, and he was like, I'm going to rent a car. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to pay for your stitches. He did. He drove me to urgent care.
That was nice of him.
Care of everything. And the airline got my email. You know, they even offered to land the flight for me, like over Newfoundland or something. They're like, do you want us to land the plane? And I was like, no, I feel bad. Like, I'll just die. Like, it's
I don't want to put you out. I'll just die.
I can't like inconvenience this many people. Like, if it's my time, it's my time. Or hopefully this is.
That's so funny.
But somebody had told me that when you get cut in your head, it can bleed a lot. So I kind of had hopefully that hope in my head. But no, he took care of everything. And then again, I didn't want to blame the airline because it truly wasn't their fault. Even though I probably could have sued, and they're like, do you want anything? They emailed me. And I never wrote back. And everybody else, here's the other thing about that day. So again, this is when I was in Iceland in like 2018. All my Canadian friends were like writing me. I didn't put it on my main feed, but I put it in my story. That's where I like to bury things. I'm not a big like main feed poster. I'm like, if somebody wants to check me out or whatever, go into my story, but I don't need to like flash everybody every day, you know, like. So, but the people that did see the story, like my Canadian friends were all like, oh my God, are you okay? And my American friends were all like, oh my God, you should sue.
That's actually such a good observation, because it's the only, like, I don't know if this, like, not to get political, but this like Fox News thing, they had to pay like $750 million or whatever for the election lies. And it's like, that really is the only accountability, like in our country, like drug companies, airlines, gun manufacturers, I mean, anything, theme parks. The only thing that nothing scares, the government doesn't scare them. The people rioting doesn't scare. The only thing that scares them is lawsuits. That's the only thing keeping everybody in line. The reason why anything's safe, and the only reason why you get any customer service, or why people can't be racist or whatever it is because they got sued one time. And so like, oh shit, we're going to get sued. That's the whole country is built on lawsuits.
It's so true. It's like, it's not the law, it's the lawsuit.
It's your patriotic duty to sue when something goes wrong, because that's the only way you can make this country any better. It's crazy. But wow, airlines.
I know. I digress. Well, yeah. But anyways, I'm saying there's only certain shit.
Well,
if you just put that
I was gonna pat myself on the back, is that even though I'd like prefer a window seat, I always book myself an aisle seat.
I'm
for that very reason. Because I'm like, if I have to go to the bathroom, because I do have to go to the bathroom fair amount.
Well, this goes back to the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
When you got
No, it's the more boring version. I just have to pee all the time. It's like this. It sucks.
Because we're getting older.
Yeah.
I even noticed now that I'm dating this guy, like in the middle of the night, we both go to the bathroom so many times. Like you could like play circus music, like do 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 do. Like it's like he's in. I'm
well,
out.
At least you're. That's good that you're both in that boat. It's embarrassing because now like Heidi never goes to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I just go, and then I'll get every time. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's just I had to pee because I'm old, I guess.
Well, but last night we drank a lot of beer because of the hockey games. We were watching like hockey playoffs, and it was like I drank more beer last night than I normally do, so I peed like 4 times.
I know Johnny wanted to catch up with you about those NHL playoffs.
Oh, don't
I know he's huge in the sports. Hockey.
He's more of a baseball guy.
Did you get my text today, Andrew, of the kid?
Oh, I was on the plane, but I did. It came through later. But
the kid was like dancing.
Just a random kid.
I was a kid on my son's team. You can see Duncan off to the left, but I was really filming that kid because he was like dancing.
It was hilarious, but then I did have that thought. I was like, Johnny just filming some kid?
I had to do it discreetly.
Is that frowned upon? No. I'm just filming your kid and sending it to another man. That's all.
Yeah, we have a podcast. It's cool. We have a podcast.
We have a podcast. We'll talk about it, but it's not anything weird.
Yeah.
No, it was hilarious. I noticed that. I don't know if that's just like being on these ships. You see a lot of kids, and I don't know if that's like a TikTok thing or whatever, but kids just dance now. I don't remember like so much dancing when I was growing up, but man, you'll just like be walking by and like just some girl just, but she's not even filming it or whatever. She's just like going, just like a 9-year-old kid. She's just like practicing, getting ready for when she's gonna do her dance.
Yeah,
and
it's prepping for when she is filming.
Just like her by herself, just in front of a window or you know, where she can see a reflection, or just like bored. She's waiting in line. She's just all of a sudden she just starts dancing. Like, wow, everybody knows how to dance now.
Wait, can I ask you guys this question? So, because we've all worked on cruise ships before. How do you guys feel about like performing in front of children, like as a stand-up?
Oh, they're like empty seats. It's so funny because so I was on for 2 weeks, right? The week before, the first week was spring break still for like the East Coast people.
Yeah.
And so it was just like it was so many kids.
Yeah.
And so even if your show's sold out, if you look out there and you're like 40% of them's you're like, this is a half-filled room. That's how I think of it. I mean, like, don't kill yourself if you feel like you're bombing, because it's not for, you know, it's like I'm not offending them because it's a clean show, but it's not for them either. Yeah. It's not like I'm doing kiddie jokes. So I don't love it, but I mean,
Donnie, how about you?
My show that I did last night there was a lot of kids and it was fucking awful. First of all, the mic was it was your biggest pet peeve. Cordless. It worked probably 40% of the time, and it was all staticky, and the sound system was like that built into the ceiling like horse shit.
Oh my god,
that was awful. There were kids. It was like mostly because it was for like the seasonal campers at this camp. It was at the convention center, and I'm like doing my bit about, you know, we all, you know, there's dumb people out there. Someone, you know, we all know there's dumb people. And one of the kids in the front row goes, like you, and everyone just erupted laughing. I was like, this motherfucker.
Oh, no.
When it's a fucking 6-year-old, you can't be like, hey, fucking, you know.
Yeah, or really roast them.
Well, on Carnival, like they, like sometimes there'll be kids in the front row, but there's no parents with them. Like it's a PG show. The parents should be. They drop them off in the comedy club. They go to the casino. They go drinking. And I'll be like, "Where are your parents?" They're like, "Oh, they're not here." I'm like, "Am I baby?"
How old are these kids?
The kids I was doing this crowd work with, they were 11 and 8. And yeah, I was just like, "Tell your dad he owes me $10." Like I feel like I'm babysitting right now. The kid was like putting his room card, like his key in his mouth, like trying to eat. And then he was like, "I want the mic. I want the mic. I want the mic." And then I was like, "You can have the mic. You shouldn't even be here." Here's the thing. I'm actually like getting better at doing crowd work with kids. It's like, I used to like fear the kid shows big time because my comedy is not really for the children, obviously, as you guys know. But now I'm like, whatever. Now I see like kids in the crowd in like a January, you know, or February, like some season where I'm not used to them being in the crowd. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm kind of happy you're here. You know, you could be at school getting shot. Sorry. Don't worry, I don't do that joke on the cruise. I get fired so fast. I think in my brain. That's how I really have learned to embrace it. I'm like, well, at least we know there's no guns on the board on the ship. Like
that's the first time I've really thought about it. Because I have a school shooting joke. I've done it on the ship a million times, and I've never really thought about the fact that like, oh yeah, there's like kids on here that probably hits them a little different.
I'm too scared.
Oh,
I only have one joke about can I hear your joke? Have I
it's old. You might have heard it, but I say I don't think we should give guns, because they say we should give guns to teachers, you know. It's like, I don't think we should give guns to teachers. I think we should give guns to custodians because they're like sneakier, you know, you don't see them coming. And then also a teacher's going to hesitate, but because they like kids, they don't want to shoot a kid, but a janitor. And then the line is like, hey, that goes in recycling.
She's awesome.
Like, clean up your own blood. So, you know, but I've done that. I've done that at like the clean shows because like in my stupid head, I'm like, well, I don't curse.
That's a good joke. But you did that on the cruise ship?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
I only have like one line about it when I talk about moving to New York, but I won't do it on the. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with working on cruise ships so much. I have all these jokes and I have nowhere to do them because I'm like, oh, I can't do this on here. But just when I talk about like moving to New York, you know, my dad's always like, do you live in a dangerous part of Brooklyn? And I'm like, yeah, I live across the street from a school.
Yeah. No, you can do that on a ship. What's wrong with that?
I get too scared. I don't know. But I love your joke. I did listen to your album, by the way, Rockstone.
Oh, wow.
I have it on my phone. You ever put your phone on shuffle and then all of a sudden like comedians' albums that you've downloaded come in the shuffle? So like you're going for a run and you're like, 'cause I'm free to do what you want to do. And then like your friend pops in. Anyway, so just got married.
I know. It happened to me. Okay, because I'm guilty of like, I want to support my friends who have albums, but then like you download them on your phone and then maybe you haven't gotten to them in the last like 3 or 4 years. And so I was in Bermuda and the service, I do get T-Mobile, but the service isn't great. So I'm on one of these pedal assist bikes and I'm biking around.
Yeah.
And I got my headphones in, but there's cars. I mean, you're on the real road. So you are being careful. And so I can only play songs I've already downloaded on my phone. It's just on shuffle. So it's playing like music. And then, I have all this shit for my daughter. So then I'll be like, Winnie the Pooh. And I'm like trying to skip, because I've heard it so many fucking times. And skip. But I can't pull my phone out to do it because I'm like scared I'll crash. So I just have to bike. And like Winnie the Pooh's over. And then it's like Irene 2 is telling me about her dating life. I'm like, God damn it. Can we just get to like some sort of Bob Marley situation? I want to be like an island.
And Peter, for the record, I also have your album on my phone too. I do. Hey. I have both of yours, and they pop up. I feel like it's always the most recent ones whenever you hit shuffle that pop up the most because I just downloaded Augie Smith's album. Have you guys listened to Augie's new album?
I haven't yet, but I should. He's the best.
He's a legend. He's great. He should be more famous than he is, as should you guys. So his album has been popping up a lot lately, and then also my friend in Halifax, Peter Anthony. So I feel like whatever is the most recent albums I've downloaded, for some reason they pop up in my shuffle all the time.
I do think the phone tries to guess like what you actually like by compared to what you have downloaded when you do shuffle. But then the problem is like the phone doesn't know I'm only playing Winnie the Pooh 1,000 times because my daughter's asking for it. It's not me.
They need to add that into the algorithm. Be like, children's song.
Yeah, just figure it out. I'm a 38-year-old man. How much do you think I love Winnie the Pooh soundtrack?
My sister's in her 40s and she loves Winnie the Pooh.
No.
They did, they have a Winnie the Pooh horror movie because it's like public domain after so many years it went, and so they have a horror movie. I forget what it's called, like Pooh, Blood and Honey or something.
Yeah. I can't get behind it.
Christopher Robin shits his pants.
Robin with the turd splitter.
Oh no, death by turd cutter.
Turd cutter, sorry. I'm new to the lingo.
I don't know if we have time for my last thing I want backup on, but it's really easzy. It's very simple.
Okay, go.
Also, again, it relates to traveling. But at the airport, I don't want an iPad bartender.
Oh.
The iPad bartenders, now they have these bars where you're not even like supposed to converse with people or the bars.
Were you in Houston?
It's at JFK and Pearson in Toronto. They've replaced like all the normal bars with iPad bars, and you order off the iPad.
It's so bad.
That's your bartender is the iPad now.
It's so bad. In Houston, I remember the first time I saw it, I was in Houston. I kept like going like, oh, this whole restaurant is just iPads. Like, I don't want to do that. So I'd walk to the next one and they like literally the whole airport, they had like
Yep.
come to some agreement or something, and like there
Yep,
wasn't a
Pearson.
restaurant with a waiter or a bartender. It was just all iPads.
It's like a self-checkout bar.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
So
exactly
you
what
order it on the screen, and then who brings you your drink?
somebody.
I mean, somebody, but they won't talk to you.
Yeah.
It's
They
like a
just pop it
kitchen
on.
staff. They got
They
to
just
print
like
out
slam
receipt.
it,
It's like,
and then
oh,
if it's wrong or whatever, there's no recourse. You have to like, write a letter or someone to somebody at some point. But
you have to
and
sue
then
them.
and then they're like, you want to tip
Just
25, 30, or 35% at the end. That's the option.
I know that's the other part. You're chipping the iPad. I'm
Right,
like,
you're
what?
tipping the iPad.
Oh my god.
It's
I don't like
crazy.
no more iPad bartenders. I can't. Like,
Well, yeah, and like especially since this AI thing, like there's going to be fewer and fewer like human touches to stuff. Like the computers will be handling more and more. So there should be like hopefully comedy, but although I could totally see them just going like, yeah, we can get a robot to do this.
Put an iPad on stage.
Yeah, and just chat GPT a little act out of have the cruise director do it or whatever. But like, bartender or server at a restaurant, that's one of those like that is one of those, that's part of the experience, I feel like, of like going out to eat. Otherwise you would just do fast food or whatever.
I agree. I honestly, I miss bartending. Like, I know I should be happy that I'm like living my dream job and I'm a full-time comedian or whatever. But like, I like going out to restaurants and bars because I like honestly miss the industry. And I love dating a chef right now because we go out to cool restaurants and he's like, I want to try all these places. And I miss it. I miss that job.
Wow.
I miss it. Don't give it to an iPad. There's human beings that actually like that job.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
We gotta figure out a way to stick it to them, like how people just steal from self checkouts. You gotta just reach over and get your own drinks and not even bypass the iPad.
Let's just steal the iPads.
Yeah. There you go.
Like, I got this.
You're flying back from JFK with like 9 screens behind your seat in front of you, making one giant flat screen TV.
Laptops out of the bag. Oh fuck! Yeah. I got 9 of them.
They open up the overhead compartment and just everybody gets smashed with just iPads fly everywhere and cuts everybody in the head.
All on my head. I need stitches again.
Yeah.
Oh no! This plan backfired.
No. Yeah, it is like, it's like a dystopian future kind of thing. Like, we don't need, like, technology is great, but we don't really need that. And I've never been like, oh, it's so much faster, or oh, this is so much easier. Like, I've never said.
It takes me fucking 20 minutes to figure out how to plug in everything.
Oh my god! And these poor servers on the ship, on this new ship, they give them all the servers have electronic. They don't have like note when you order at a restaurant, they don't write it down like with a shorthand like you used to do. They have like an iPad thing, but these guys, they had just shipped on, like everybody was new my week. Oh. So they were all like staring at this iPad thing for the first time in their lives. So you're like, okay, I'll have the Caesar salad and the penne pesto pasta and then clam chowder, right, or whatever. And they're like, okay, so Caesar, and he's like he's trying to type in Caesars. Like, oh, no. And it took and you're just like, all right, yeah, take your time, man, take your time. And you're like, how is this faster than him just writing it down on a piece of paper? I have no but it was whatever. It's the future, I guess.
I guess it's the future. I don't know who it's helping. I don't know who it's for, but no more iPad bartenders. That's all I want.
I'm with you.
I want human beings.
I'll back that up for sure.
Yes.
All
what
right,
about you guys? You need backup on anything?
No, we don't. No, because
not at all.
we are going to. This is great. Thank you so much for doing it. And we're going to combine your. This is actually going to be the first half of a mega episode because we're going to have Johnny's friend Jason Russell is going to join us next.
Yeah,
So we're going to save our own. We get to go on and on and on.
Well, we can just have him bring topics. We can.
Yeah. We'll save. Yeah. God knows we could use a week off.
This well, yeah.
The well is dry. But Christina, do you have anything you want to plug or anything like that?
The only thing I really want to plug, because I mean, if you want to come see me, you have to go on a cruise. You have to take a vacation to see me. And honestly, I want people to take vacations. So maybe do that because I'm working all cruise lines for the rest of the year. But I also have like a week at the Funny Bone in St. Louis. May 18th through 21st. I'm doing the Omaha Funny Bone June 1st through 3rd. I feel like maybe people go to those places. And then also, Johnny, I just want to ask you one question. I'm running my first marathon in 2 weeks. Do you have any words of advice?
I just passed you right before I ran 4 miles. I checked the Nike app. I was like, I'm 2 behind her. Aaron, I'm going out. I'm going to go 2 more. So I'm like 0.2 miles ahead of you. But you'll pass me. You'll beat me for the month. But advice, don't eat deep dish for dinner the night before to carb up. And don't eat 8 of those Gatorade gel packs they hand out because they'll give you a big tummy ache, even though they taste so good.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, that's my advice.
I love it. All right, it's good. I like it.
I'm so excited for you. You gotta remind me.
Yeah, that is a big deal. Awesome.
May 7th in my hometown, my first marathon, and it's in Vancouver, where I'm from. So I finally can like invite my family out to see me because I don't do that with comedy. So this is something they can watch,
Yeah, cheer for you.
What a thrill! They can sit there and watch you jog by once, and 3 hours later they can meet up with you.
That's what Aaron did. My kids they couldn't even see me at the finish line.
Fun,
it's like because of security. It was like
what a fun viewing experience, a marathon. That's the word they use to describe bad viewing experiences and other entertainment. Like our podcast this week is a marathon episode.
Yes.
No, but in a good way.
Right.
No.
The only other thing I want to
You're
promote,
so funny, Christina.
Oh, sorry. Okay, now I'm getting drunk because I'm doing weird things in my hoodie. But the only other thing I want to promote is I did start a blog on Substack about my life as a cruise ship comedian. I know we're living in a TikTok world, and I'm the only weirdo that's still writing. But
no, it's going the other way. That's so good. And you're such a great writer. And that's how I remember the first time we worked together, you were telling me about your writing, and you read so much.
I read a lot.
You were a great writer because you read so much. And you've been writing like blogs and stuff for a long time.
Yeah. And I feel like I've always, I don't know, it's just my happy place. And I just ignore everything else going on in the world. Like, let's just do a deep dive into some writing. But yeah, anyway, so I'm getting a little more active with my Substack. And yeah, it's just called The Cruise Ship Comedian. And I'm on Substack under Christina Walkinshaw. Nice and easy. You could subscribe. I'm trying to post 1 a week, but I am lacking in self-discipline, and but I do my best, and they're all really honest and real and kind of cute and funny. That's it.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for doing it.
Thanks for having me on. I love you guys. Still a long-time
guest.
listener, huge fan. I'm more than a guest, I'm a fan.
This is going to be a tough follow-up for Russell, so see how he does. All right.
It'll be great. Okay.
See you,
and
Christina.
we're gone.
All right. See you, Christina.
And goodbye.
And we're gone.